watching Cox Connections only on Cox 11. When people think of the USO, they probably get a mental picture of a young military officer in a canteen dancing with a USO volunteer. While that memory is correct, so is the fact that the USO of Hampton Roads in Central Virginia serves approximately 450,000 military members and their families each year. Here to tell us more about USO programs is CEO Paula Moran. Paula, thanks for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me.
The USO has been in our area for about 30 years. Tell us about it. How did it all get started?
Well, it all got started because there was a need. The USO has been around for almost 75 in general, from 1941, and because we are the largest concentration of military installations and members in the world, it was a natural for us to begin serving locally.
And there are four key areas that you focus on. Can you tell me about those?
Yes, we have family outreach, which is programs that are like our Military Appreciation Day at the zoo, upcoming holiday party. We do military concert series and lots of other different activities that are based on our individual centers. So that's one area. We also have Warrior and Family Care, which is a program where we treat the wounded, well, and injured, not medically, but with lots of activities and just life-enhancing activities for them that make their lives better as they go through that healing process. We also have the Families of the Fallen, which is the most difficult work that we do, but anytime a service member loses his or her life, we are part of that process if the families live within reasonable proximity of one of our airports to make sure that we shepherd those families through to Dover, where they accept the dignified transfer of their loved ones' remains, and then back home again.
Incredibly important, I'm sure difficult, but,
it is,
but important.
Very much so.
I understand that the term home away from home has sort of special significance for the USO. Can you explain that to us?
Well, our centers, I mean, we do lots of work that's outside of our centers, but the centers are truly designed to be homes away from home for our service members wherever they're stationed, whether they're here locally or whether they're stationed overseas, any part of the world. And we try to have certain things that service members know they can depend on having. They can expect to have internet service, the opportunity to communicate with their family. They're going to get fed. Some centers feed more than others. A couple of our centers here feed actual meals, but for the most part, it's snack foods and beverages. You have a quiet place to rest and relax and sleep. Say if you're in an airport and your flight isn't for several hours, you have a place where you can go and rest. Base centers on military bases and posts offer programming. Now, we don't do that so much at the airport centers because it's a very transient population that goes through those. But we have all kinds of programming that's very specific to the type of center. For example, if you're at Fort Eustis, you have a large student population, and so we have lots of things like football Saturdays and movie nights and things like that that would appeal to that population. Others, it's more family-based because you're on a base where there are lots of families that are stationed, and we do lots of children's activities at those areas.
That's incredible. I know it sounds like you have a huge array of services that you offer for service persons and their families. Is the USO part of the U.S. government? Does the government provide any funding?
No, we struggle with that perception a lot. We are absolutely 100% funded by the local communities in which we are located. The individuals, corporations, foundations provide 100% of our funding. We get nothing from the government, and we get no funding from USO Inc. Now, they do provide initiatives for us, and we're grateful for that, but they don't provide us with any direct funding to support operations.
Wow. So you were telling me earlier about some things that you've seen firsthand, ways that the USO has supported our service people. Can you give us an example of that?
Well, I love to tell stories, and you know, the longer I'm here, the more wonderful stories I gather remember the first summer I was here a couple of years back, we do a program called Exceptional Family Member Day in collaboration with King's Dominion. And any family in the military that is experiencing, they have a child with incredible disabilities, or maybe that's terminally ill or wheelchair bound, they qualify to participate in this program, and we take them and their families to King's Dominion for a completely free day of fun and all kinds of great stuff. This one particular family came, and the child that was terminally ill actually passed a week after this particular event. And the mother wrote to us saying she was so grateful that that was her final big memory of her child, because the child had the best day of her life. That stuff really matters.
That's beautiful. How can people get involved with the USO of Hampton Roads in Central Virginia?
Well, one big way is with volunteering. We have over 1,000 active volunteers. Some volunteer for special events only. We have our core group that supports our holiday party, which is coming up soon. Then we have another core group of volunteers that work at our centers. They come in religiously, however many hours a week that they've committed to, they come in and they support our centers. We have other members that come to our office and perform office tasks to help take the burden off. You know, we all multitask here at the USO as most nonprofits, and sometimes there are just not enough people to go around. Our volunteers really help to fill in the gap. Another way is, because we are completely nonprofit, you can make a donation to the USO. You can either make a monetary donation or you can donate in-kind things. Our gala is coming up March 21st, and we're looking for auction items, so we would love to have people donate items for that.
And can people find out more information on Facebook or a website?
Absolutely. Regular postings on Facebook, and our website is always a great source of information about the USO.
Well, Paula, we can't thank you enough for everything that you do to serve our service people. They're such a huge part of our community. Not only do they benefit the country, but they're an important part of our Hampton Roads community. And thank you so much for everything you do for them.
Well, it's my pleasure.
Thanks for being here today as well.
Thanks for having me.
When we return, standing up in front of a group of your peers and sharing personal stories of facing bullying, hate, and discrimination is a courageous thing to do. We'll find out how some Lake Taylor students did just that in hopes of promoting tolerance when we come back with more Cox Connections.